You ever thought about like making Mandala narrative to the name of a thing somewhere?
Yeah, totally. I think, I was thinking about this because recently Jean finally put her decentralized desires onto like a webpage.
Is that the
Which is,
NFT to engage dialogue?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
did,
that one.
okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely thinking we can make the Mandala narrative into like its own like thing somehow. With
Related with gene stuff?
no, not necessarily, but like I would think too, but like partner in my understanding or my little vision or my one of my plans that I'm slowly brewing is that when the library and Jean like are running that Mandala narrative as like a concept does what are they calling it? Interest group? Focus interest group thing? And so,
I don't know.
but anyways, I think what they're coming to is like there's these smaller, more like focused, delivery orientated initiatives. So like for instance,
In Omega.
yeah, in Omega. So for us as like Mandala narrative, and I would imagine
Right.
it'd be like me and you go and have a talk with Jean about like I don't know whatever. Oh, it'd be more focused. Like so, for like instance, I was pitching. I don't know if you read it, but I was pitching about like creative AI, and I was referencing this article that was mentioned. Some guy in tech, he wrote this thing about like science has a branding issue, and I'll be like something about like how about creative AI and even branding as a concept like can't help but be evil. and then I'm like kind of saying about like this comes to something too that like or like what I like to bring to the table, which is like the poetics or my branding of it is disembodied poetics, just to be a little bit weirder, but to bring that in, like, and then basically that is always the issue, right? Like how we deal with the new medium, what's our relationship with it, and even like
I had this moment while I was looking at some of Streamer D's work, his writing on this page, and I realized like it was all integrated with the menu and the project and everything he's doing. There's this poetic pattern like mesh behind it. I got it. It's the reason I brought up Mandala narrative is kind of with the idea to make a Stoto thing on minds.
yeah.
But the issue there might be it could get so plain that I don't know how it would connect to everything with the mandalas, which could be, mandala narrative. And I wonder if I could put forth the same ideas, but basically using like your sort of terminology. Like I think you've been doing it some lately, like with getting deeper into each element.
Yeah.
I thought about adding text to this drawing I did earlier, and that was going to be one of them because that helps my branding. I can use that. I don't even have a good name for that stage. And the roulette wheels, when within the vacuum mentioned that, I think he might have meant like in a casino, but when he said it, I thought of Russian roulette and ears, and mine was kind of morbid, I guess.
But no, that's kind of when I had okay, so this is one of my dreams that I would categorize as like a vision, and I only mean that in the sense that I like mostly everything, especially in this one, was totally outside my frame of reference. Like I got there and I was like, what the fuck? Usually I'm like, oh, okay, I've been reading this, or oh, this is because, like, you know, I had this experience when I was younger. Like, I did a lot of stuff in my dreams. So, like, this one was like, fucking, I was like, oh my God, where the hell am I? And this is, and so, like, I meet, for lack of a better word, I told Dream Eater this dream once, and then he's like, oh, so you met Keck. And I start laughing. I'm like, oh God, that's so stupid, but that's also funny. But it's the one dream where I'm like in this like jungle, and then like there's this like pyramid, and then like these like natives kind of like there's two of them, and they gather me. Like I'm walking in the pyramid, and I'm like tripping out on these like hieroglyphs, and then like these two like natives like gather me, and I just like have this like experience like, oh, I got caught, like I'm not supposed to be here. And then they like drag me to this like throne room, and then there's like somebody like on this throne, and I get like thrown down. It's like totally like Star Wars or something. It's like Jabba the Hutt or something. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then it's like this toad Jabba the Hutt thing sitting on his throne, and I instantly get scared. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be here. I have no idea how I got here. Blah blah blah. Like I'm just like ranting, like leave me alone. Please, I want to go back to my body and go back home. I don't know how I got here. I don't mean any disrespect. And then like he kicks me in my solar plex, and I go down this like thread, zoom, like my awareness, and then I land back in my body, and then like I have this experience where I had it several different times, but like my whole body kind of like goes numb, like if your leg falls asleep type of tingling. But anyways, that experience, and you know, it's like what's that one movie? Shit. Oh, Interstellar. And when he's like outside of time and space, and there's like these threads. It's like that, but I got like shot out of a cannon into the farthest galaxies, reaches of the galaxies, and ended up in some weird chaos pyramid, meeting weird entities that I probably shouldn't. When you said,
yeah, I haven't quite had a moment like that, but Rick Veitch might have. I've finally got caught up on his dream comics. They're a bit fiend. They just get absolutely wild in the last three. There's something about pumpkins too, and this really classic one called Crypto Zoo. It's funny, like you read through all the dreams in this, and then at the end, there's a text portion that walks you through what every dream meant for him. And then you see it all with whole new eyes. And it was pretty boring the first time, but it's just a whole different animal. That's a thing that he mentions elsewhere, that as an experienced dream worker, he says they learn to pay attention to the ones that are boring on the surface, because you just never know.
Oh yeah, you know, like for my experience, and even Dream Eater, when I talked to him, he confirmed this for his own experience. Like deja vu dreams are almost always mundane. They're always like these mundane dreams that you have and you forget, and then like something happens and like it triggers like this echo of a memory of a dream that you had while the experience is like happening. There's always like something mundane, but like it triggers like this like echo. I guess is the best way, or how I would like to say it. That's always interesting. But oh yeah, for instance, when you were saying about Russian roulette, like in that same way, is like this like Russian roulette of like shooting you through a cannon through through like these the net of Indra.
It's time in a way, like the moment gets selected and everything, all the other possibilities get digested by Baku.
Yeah.
Baku is time. I don't know. It's like that lizard thing that I saw the first time I tripped. There's a disappearing aspect. It's kind of subtle. Oh gosh, it was like as they were playing cards, and if the entire social world was this giant Leviathan chameleon that was maybe hiding from me, then if it was invisible, I'd never know it. So it's kind of transparent. But then when you see it, it starts gaining resolution.
Yeah.
Now, I think it might be something with like the complex plane, if you're familiar with that. It's where the Mandelbrot set is,
Okay.
and other fractals. But it's basically just like the whole numbers being negative and positive numbers, and then those juxtaposed with the negative set. I mean, the imaginary set of I and negative I. But think about this idea, and this is with the Fourier transform. Part of the reason it works is just because the one and the I being separate means they can keep sine and cosine apart and kind of do the magic with it. But it's like, if all they're really doing is separating it, then you can start to hypothesize about these other potential imaginary dimensions, and they're just useful for whatnot. Thinking about that dragon again, and the ratios, if when its scales are opaque, they're like 1 to 2 positive, but then beneath that, that's the imaginary everyday, all possible. And it's hyperbolic, like that sense of a great big open space with many tails, many eyes contributing to it. I don't know, man. It's been good shaking the pumpkins, I guess. Thanks for keeping it going. Like it's an ongoing thing, right?
Yeah, totally. And I think that's like the thing, you know. And I think this is like about going. I think, you know, first within the vacuum was talking about how he's going deeper into the elements, and like that's like, I think getting deeper into like the sections of the Dreamtime as this like this broad area of like widening that space, right? So like I think too what it mirrors, and I think what also what I think I'm reflecting, you know, just like right now, what I'm mirroring too is like this act of remembering your dreams too, like the more you turn it into like a habit. Because I was telling my friend, she was saying the same thing about like, oh, I wish I remembered my dreams, and I was like, oh wow, you know, when I was like in my 20s, I was like really determined, and I started to like, you know, write my dreams, and I was really disciplined, and I did the whole tech dreaming later, and I did that for a while, and it's so like I developed this like habit of doing it, and so like even when I don't try, I do it, and so like when I go and I do it again, like I already have like this built-in mind habit memory to tap into, right? And so I was telling her, you know, at first it's gonna be hard, but like, you know, like the more you do it, the more you kind of like open up that window, the more you kind of like, no, Baku, I'm gonna digest my own dreams. Baku, stop it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the time and do all this like mandala sand work to digest my own dreams. which I think becomes like this new little task. Like that story I tell is like the bee shaman. It's like, Baku, come here. Why are you doing this? And so like I have these like this funny idea of having this like ongoing conversation with Baku. But yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. It's a fun little dream world, but also too, you know, I'm glad you're kind of like using minds a little bit, because later I want to toss you one of the tiles for you to mess around with.